What's up, everybody? I'm Blessed and Free. Welcome back to another episode of DOC TV. So I'm sure some of you guys might recognize who I have on today. He's got a YouTube channel and he's got a good story. So I wanted to have him on DOC TV. So, man, why don't you go ahead and tell the people what your name is and where you're from?
What up, loved ones? What it do? It's Spotty Young right here. You know where I'm from. Basically, I went to Los Angeles, California, bro, when I was 10 years old. And then from then on, I guess it was the culture. I just started hanging out with, first, it was just the pretty boys. And then I started hanging out with gang members. And then I was hanging out with my own peoples at first, with the Asians. But they ended up beating me up because I guess we're not together. We're separated also. You got the Filipinos, Vietnamese, Cambodians. And it just went on from there.
When you were growing up and you got introduced into the gang life, like how long was it before, I'm assuming you got in it, got active. How long did that take for that to start taking place?
It didn't take longer than 2 years because we got used to it first, like cruising down the streets, going to our enemy's hood and whacking out their hood. That's, it's considered very disrespectful. And then we would just do that almost every day, bro, as long as we have gas money. And that's all. that's the only. Yeah, for real. We don't go to school no more. We just like strictly focus on the hate, on hating other people and on gangbanging, and especially our own peoples also, bro. It was like a crazy competition, and it just went on from there. The hate just kept growing and growing and growing, and of course, being addicted to the lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, man, so how long was it before the gang life completely took over and then you started getting charges, I'm assuming? Like, how did all that go down for you?
I got busted first for, how you call that? GTA, when you steal cars.
Grand Theft Auto?
Yes, and then after that, that's when I got the 14-year sentence for about, just in a couple of years. I got charged.
So you caught a GTA and then you caught a 14-year bid?
Yeah, after the GTA, I just did like a week in the halls, and I didn't learn my lesson then. I thought it was still like, man, this, you know what I mean?
Thought it was still a game.
Yeah, I thought it was still a game until I kept continuing my gang activities, just hanging out with the homies, which I considered my family. And then, bam, got myself stuck in the California system for that long.
What jail did you go to? Did you go to LA County?
Oh, I didn't hit the LA County because at the time that I got busted, I was only 15. So I hit the juvenile hall first, and then after that, CYA for 2 years.
All right, man. So what's CYA like? I hear that shit was off the chain.
I heard also, bro. I've heard similar stories with JIT camp. I'm not sure. They probably did. If it's about gangbanging, then yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, in Florida we have JIT camps, but I'm assuming like our JIT camps to your CYA are probably identical in the structure and everything. It's like a boot camp, right?
Yes, but this is like a prison for the little kids from up to 25 years old.
Them little kids get crazy though, man, when you get them all locked up.
Oh yeah. Everyone was a man. Everyone was Mr. Know-It-All.
Oh, they're all UFC fighters training.
Yeah. It was like the movie. It was like the show Spartacus, bro, but we're little kids.
Yeah, going to war, bro.
That's what it was, man.
So, all right, you did the 2 years in CYA. Were you banged out the whole time you were riding that bid?
Yeah, banged out the whole time. I was so banged, street gang, because it's different, right? I was so banged out the whole time that I even when I was in YA, I had my enemies, gang enemies hood whacked out on my leg.
All right, so you were in it then. Like you weren't even fucking off.
Yeah. I had a whole different little kid mentality at first.
So when you did that bid, when you got out, did you go right back into the gang life?
When I got out after 13 years, hell nah.
No. I'm talking about when you got out of CYA.
Oh no, no. They never gave me a chance to get out. After
Oh, okay,
CYA, I
okay.
went to. It's a 13-year straight bid.
So when you went into the California prison system, explain to the people what that's like, because you know how Florida prison is to how California is. It's a totally different, you know,
Oh,
culture. So
I
what
see.
what can a young kid like you expect walking into, you know, California prison?
In California prison, bro, from my point of view, I mean, from the way I see it, is it's all about racial now, racial segregation. If you weren't basically, if you didn't know anything about racism at first, they will teach you right there in that prison, because that's designed to hate each other's race. The police, or I mean, the system designed it that way so that all the other races will be so busy fighting each other that nobody would even think about fighting the police.
Do you think California prison system is set up like that for doing exactly what you said, like
Yeah,
throwing the heat off the cops because they're too worried about, you know, the white boy
yes, yeah.
walking up to their water fountain type shit?
They call this for territorial purposes. Everybody fights for the table, for everything, bro. For you to have something for your car, to have to be comfortable living in that prison, you have to actually go to war for that.
Do you think that from you experiencing that, like it created racism within yourself?
Uh, well, at first, I didn't look at it that way. But then, when at a young age, I was like 18, 19, 20. The other, because in prison, we're surrounded by a lot of hate. These people, they're not all Zen masters like that. And
Zen masters.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like the old people. But they will teach you like, oh, fuck them, fuck those fools. When the door opens, make sure you know what I mean. And at a young kid, all I hear is all this hate from coming from all these people, all these racist words. So I had to go through that. I think everyone had to go through that. But at the same time, not everyone is small-minded like that as well. Some that are on a different level would teach you the bigger picture, will teach you uh, 30 years of their experience in there, you know, stuff like that. So later on down the line, I started to realize the bigger picture. It's not that simple how things are going on right now. And, you know, why are we even fighting each other? Why do we have to fight each other to survive? And, you know, slowly but surely, as I grow up, I started to talk to more and more people, which expanded my horizon.
Yeah. So when you were in there and you were talking to them, were you trying to like tell people like, yo, we need to tighten up and all get together against the cops?
Later on, when I started to get better and more experience doing prison time, I started to realize that by myself that the cops were the enemies, because I started to experience oppression, and I started to see with my own eyes the abuse of power. Not to mention reading Mark Twain's, because I consider him a philosopher, right? Mark Twain, in which he said clearly that the most bottom of the barrel people that exist in planet Earth are the crooked turnkeys. You know, so that means
He
that's
called
even
that
worse.
shit.
Yeah, corrupt police, right?
When you were in prison in California, what was the like most corrupt thing you think you saw that, you know, the cops did and got away with it?
Oh, okay. Well, it didn't happen to me personally, but it happened to some of the Southsiders when they would just open their cells, beat him up, and then plant whatever, say that he had this, he fought back. Even in CYA, I already experienced it in CYA where they said that they caught me with this, in which they didn't, and twist me up. You know, I mean, put their knee on my face.
Yeah, I know all
Honestly,
about that, bro. That's
like
like
for
their
what?
go-to, man.
Yeah, and then intentionally tighten up my trying to choke me with the chain when you're going on the bus for for transport and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the stuff I remember.
So when you were in your prison bid and, you know, the days and months are going, like, when was it that you made a decision like, man, I'm done? Like, when I get out this time, I'm assuming you had that thought where
Yes,
like
sir.
you get fed up, bro, just being locked
Yeah.
up. So when did that happen for you, man?
That was a good, that's a good one. I started to grow up more when I went to prison, because when at first everything was a joke in CYA because nobody really dies that much over there. But when I went to Pelican Bay, I got checked, and I've seen people die. So I'm like, ah, man, you know what I mean? That this could easily happen to me, especially look at my size, you know. And then, yeah, we call this. I felt sorry for my family. I started to realize that I shouldn't be selfish anymore. I have to think about how much suffering my family are going through because of my dumbass actions. So I did my best to rehabilitate myself and do what I can and think about the future.
So when
Yeah.
you said you saw inmates dying, was that due to like gang on gang violence, or was that from the cops?
Not from the cops, from from each other.
All right. So when that was going on and the violence and everything was popping off, like did you ever come into a situation like where you had to put work in, and if you didn't, like it would turn on you? Like what was some of the crazy scenarios that go on in California with all the politics?
Okay. I had been put in the position where we have to do something in Oklahoma. Oklahoma was a more loose structured place because this was the out of state program, because California was so packed that they were sending people out of state. Over there's two black dude that beat up on one little Asian guy on the showers, in which it doesn't work like that in California politics. So we didn't have no choice but to kick it off.
All right, so what happened, man? I want to hear about this. Anything with kick it off is usually a good one. So.
Okay. I've talked about this already. Basically, since of course with being outnumbered, we have to do the element of surprise. So we've already warned all the homies that we're going to do this on our pod at 10 a.m. and that's exactly what we did. But to make it more.
He said, and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Hey, that's some G shit right there.
Yeah, to make it more dramatic, it was what do you call this? The other homie wanted to do it first, but I wanted to tell the story that I went first. So I ran first to make sure that so we can tell the story I did it first. Yeah, and then it just. Yeah.
So after it popped off at that camp, like how long did you have left in prison, and like when was it that like all this stuff started taking place? Of you just like realizing what you're doing to your family? Like when was that in your bid?
I already felt that when I was in Pelican Bay when I was 18, 19. So
that shit hit you quick.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's good though.
Yeah. It hit me quick already. So I decided to make them happy, do something. I mailed my GED certificate because to make them happy. Oh look, I did something positive, and then started bettering myself, my emotions, by meditating, by reading books, and doing my best. And because luckily I have older people to look up to, and they would teach me. All
right, so you went to prison, you get out. What was that like for you after doing so many years, now hitting the streets?
After I got out?
Yeah, where did life start for you when you got out? Because you got to get a job, you got to find a place to live. Like,
oh yeah,
how was that for you going from right out the gate, now I'm on the streets?
I didn't end up staying right there in the United States. They kicked me out back to my
Jesus,
yeah, to my
that's
homeland, which
fucked
is
up.
Philippines. But one good thing I can say is that here I have a perfect police record. So I
Hey,
could
shout out to the Philippines, right?
yeah.
Shit,
So
I would love that.
I'm able to work peacefully without anyone saying I have a police record, and I was able to use everything that I've studied there while in there, and yeah, I have a corporate job right now.
That's one thing I like to see, bro, is people, that come from where we come from and then turn their life around. So props to you for that, man. Well, I know you got a YouTube channel, so I want, anybody watching that doesn't know who you are, how can they find you on YouTube?
Oh yes, just search for Pare Young, Pareyoung, and pretty much I lay it down in there. I lay it out my life story from my experience in the United States, coming from the Philippines.
So if you could say something to a young kid coming up in, LA, kind of rocking the same life you were, what would you say to them to stop them from, ending up where we ended up?
Oh yeah. First, I would just say, if I was to talk to myself, just believe in delayed gratification. Avoid instant gratification. Have discipline, and after that, you'll have better decisions. And then start believing in morals and principles as a man, and then you'll start making better decisions.
I'll go ahead and put your link to his YouTube channel in the description of this video, so y'all can just click that and take you right there. And with that, it's DOC TV, and we're out.